these things shall be added unto you. Alleluia, Alleluia. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus summoned his 12 disciples and gave them authority to expel unclean spirits and to cure sickness and disease of every kind. The names of the 12 apostles are these. First, Simon, now known as Peter, and his brother Andrew, James, Zebedee's son, and his brother John, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew, the tax collector, James, son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, party member, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. Jesus sent these men on mission as the 12 after giving them the following instructions. Do not visit pagan territory and do not enter a Samaritan town. Go instead after the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As you go, make this announcement: the reign of God is at hand. Sisters and brothers, the gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Seek always the face of the Lord is today's response in today's responsorial psalm of today's liturgy, the Wednesday of the 14th week in ordinary time. From the book of Psalms, chapter 105, verses 2 to 7. Seek always the face of the Lord. Again, my dear friends, let me repeat. Now is the time than other times in our lives that we have to always connect ourselves to Him. Now is the time, and there is no other time, that we decide humanly, because perhaps we seem to believe that God is far, far away from us. In short, that God has deserted and abandoned us. And that is not true. And that is why this psalmist today reminds us again, seek always the face of the Lord, especially in these times of crisis. When we go to the gospel reading message today, taken from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 10, verses 1 to 7. Today in the gospel narration, Jesus chooses the 12 apostles. And these are being chosen from his own disciples. And particularly, he called the 12 of them apostles. My dear friends, reflecting on the message of today's gospel reading, there is a very beautiful comment made by the very famous G.K. Chesterton. And G.K. Chesterton is the very famous English humorist. And he made this comment when he said, I would like to pay tribute to England's 12-person jury system, and with what we call with a tongue-in-cheek remark. And this remark went something like this. And the English humorist G.K. Chesterton described it this way. For easy jobs, he said, what do we do? For easy jobs like exploring outer space, we choose extraordinary scientists. But for difficult jobs, again he said, what do we choose and whom do we choose from? For difficult jobs like deciding if someone is innocent or guilty, we choose 12 ordinary citizens to comprise the English 12-person jury system. And mind you, my dear friends, that's what Jesus did. He chose 12 men, now called apostles. He chose 12 ordinary citizens to carry out the toughest mission in history, and that is to go to all the world to proclaim the good news until the end of time. But the people he chose, mind you, were very ordinary citizens. One called Matthew, a public sinner, an acknowledged public sinner, a tax collector. The other one called Simon, a troublemaker. And the other 10 were smelly fishermen. These were ordinary citizens. And yet Jesus chose them to carry out, as I said, the toughest mission ever recorded in history, to spread the gospel to all the world. So today, let us ask ourselves, do we believe that Jesus still chooses ordinary people like all of us? And Amado Nervo would like to share his reflection on this. And Amado Nervo wrote, Lord, I am a spark, make me a fire. Lord, I am a drop, make me a fountain. Lord, I am a feather, make me a wing. To the question, do we believe that Jesus still works to ordinary people like us? Yes, until today, he still works even among ordinary people or ordinary citizens to proclaim the good news to all the world.